General Crockthall of the Hegemony Elite Forces had designed the Titan's Gauntlet to be the ultimate test of military prowess. For 3 decades, it had served as the galactic standard for measuring combat effectiveness among the finest warriors from 47 different species. No unit had ever completed it in under 6 hours. Most took 12. Some never finished at all. So when the human delegation requested that their junior cadets be allowed to attempt the course, Crockthall had assumed it was some form of diplomatic courtesy, a chance for promising young soldiers to observe real military training. He had not expected them to actually participate. "General," his aide-de-camp Lieutenant Vexhara whispered urgently, "the human cadets are children." Crockthall looked down at the group of 20 humans assembled at the starting line. The tallest among them barely reached his chest plates, and several looked young enough to still be in whatever developmental phase humans called adolescence. "How old are they?" he rumbled through his vocal chambers. "Between 14 and 17 Earth years," replied Captain Sarah Mitchell, the human liaison officer. "Standard age for our junior military academy programs." "You send children to military academies?" asked Colonel Threshake of the Crystalline Guard, his geometric form resonating with confusion. "We prefer young adults," Captain Mitchell corrected diplomatically. "Humans mature quickly. These cadets have been training for 3 years. Crockthall's mandibles clicked with what might have been amusement. 3 years of training versus the lifetime warriors surrounding them, veterans who had survived dozens of campaigns, masters of combat who had spent decades perfecting their skills. "Very well," he announced. "The Titan's Gauntlet will commence." Standard rules apply. Complete the obstacle course, neutralize all hostile targets, retrieve the objective, and return to base. Time limit, 18 hours. The course was a nightmare of military engineering. 3 kilometers of varied terrain including urban warfare zones, Arctic survival sections, desert endurance tests, zero-gravity combat scenarios, and psychological pressure chambers designed to break even the strongest minds. At precisely 0800 hours, the competition began. The elite units moved with the practiced efficiency of seasoned professionals. The Hegemony's Void Rangers, masters of space combat. The Crystalline Praetorian Guard, virtually indestructible in their mineral matrices. The shape-shifting Shadow Corps, capable of infiltrating any environment. Each team represented the pinnacle of their species' military evolution. The human cadets started by doing something no other unit had ever attempted. They split up. "What are they doing?" Vexhara asked, monitoring the tactical displays. Instead of moving as a single unit like every other team, the young humans had divided into specialized groups. Some headed directly for the urban combat zone, others took flanking routes through the desert section, and a small team inexplicably began climbing the sheer cliff face that marked the course's most challenging terrain. "Unconventional tactics," Crockthall mused. "Probably inexperience." 2 hours later, his confidence began to waver. The human cadets were moving through the course at a pace that defied explanation. While other teams carefully cleared each section before advancing, the humans seemed to flow around obstacles like water finding the path of least resistance. "Sir," Vexhara reported, "the human team designated Alpha Squad has already reached the zero-gravity section. They're 3 hours ahead of schedule." "Impossible," Threshake resonated. "The desert endurance test alone should take 4 hours minimum." Captain Mitchell smiled with obvious pride. "You have to understand, General, these kids grew up on Earth. Compared to surviving a normal childhood on our homeworld, this course is relatively straightforward." As if to prove her point, the tactical display showed a 14-year-old human named Jackson casually rappelling down a 70-meter cliff face, while simultaneously engaging multiple automated defense systems with projectile weapons. "He's using gravity as a tactical advantage." breathed Major Kixtell of the Aerial Assault Division. "And those are precision shots while in free fall." Meanwhile, another group of cadets had apparently turned the psychological pressure chambers, designed to induce crippling fear through simulated worst-case scenarios, into some sort of competitive game, judging by the laughter emanating from the sealed chambers. "What exactly do human children consider frightening?" Crockthall asked weakly. "Honestly, disappointing their parents mostly," Captain Mitchell replied. "Simulated monsters and death scenarios are basically entertainment for kids who grew up with Earth's wildlife." At the 4-hour mark, something unprecedented happened. The human cadets completed the Titan's gauntlet. The final challenge required teams to coordinate a complex assault on a fortified position while under heavy fire from automated defense systems. Standard doctrine called for careful tactical planning and coordinated advances. The human cadets simply charged the position from 6 different directions simultaneously, while their youngest member, a 15-year-old girl named Rodriguez, somehow infiltrated the facility through what appeared to be a ventilation shaft barely large enough for her small frame. "Time, 4 hours, 17 minutes, 32 seconds, announced the automated course recorder. "New galactic record. All objectives completed. 0 casualties." The assembled military leadership stood in stunned silence as the human cadets emerged from the course, chattering excitedly about tactics and comparing performance notes with the casual enthusiasm of beings who had just completed an entertaining afternoon exercise. General Crockthall, the lead cadet, a 16-year-old named Thompson, approached with a respectful salute. "Thank you for allowing us to participate. That was actually pretty fun. The zero-gravity section reminded me of the obstacle courses back home. This was fun." Crockthall managed. "Oh yeah," Thompson grinned. "Though it was easier than our monthly survival exercises. No actual predators trying to eat us, and the weather was climate-controlled." General Crockthall quietly submitted his request for early retirement that evening. He had spent 40 years training elite soldiers, only to discover that human children could outperform them as a recreational activity. The Titan's gauntlet was permanently retired the following week. It was replaced with a simple sign. "If human cadets can complete this course before lunch, perhaps we need to reconsider our training standards."